So guys, I've got a question to start out the video. What weapon absolutely has to be in the Division? I think the MP5K needs to be in the game. What do you guys want? Why hello there fellow agents, what's up? It's Robbie with Open World Games. We're talking about all things Tom Clancy's The Division. Of course, if this video is a little bit long, you can use the guide as always in the description below. So please be sure to use that to skip ahead because we're talking about Xbox One versus PS4 resolutions. We've got brand new rumors about that. So rumors, they could be good or bad. This one is a mix of both in my opinion. We've got one from Industry Insider Tydex. He goes on to state that the Xbox One version of The Division will be running at 900p, and then the PS4 version will be running at 1080p. Now, Ubisoft has not clarified anything about resolutions. They are wanting it to hit 30 frames per second minimum, though. They need to keep it above 30 frames per second. We do not want to see another Assassin's Creed Unity, but in this case, frame rate, I believe, is going to be king. It absolutely is in gaming. It's absolutely king. Now, resolution is a whole other story. It depends on your monitor size. It depends on how far away you're sitting from your screen. A lot of you may not even notice a difference between some of the resolutions. But, of course, 1080p would really be nice to have on all platforms. Now, is this true? Will this end up being true? Well, it could be possible, but again, it makes me wonder if it's true because number one, The Division is in pre-alpha. There's no way that they are going to have resolutions locked down this early at all. It's not even in alpha. It's in pre-alpha. That means it's not in beta or anything like that. So we'll see what happens with this rumor. And number two, as Ubisoft Massive has previously stated, they are working very closely with specifically Microsoft and the Xbox One. They're also going to be working with DirectX 12, which is going to be brand new. It's supposedly going to enhance the graphical experience even more on both the Xbox One and the PC. So there's a lot more to this than just resolutions, and I think it's so early to have anything locked down. It's sort of ridiculous that I'm already even reporting on resolutions. But I do want to know, is resolution really that important to you guys, or is frame rate king? I really do believe frame rate has to be king in this case, especially with the fiasco that was Assassin's Creed Unity. I was shocked at launch with how bad the frame rate was, and to this day I still think it's pretty mediocre with what they did with Assassin's Creed Unity. So I'm wanting something where it absolutely, no matter what, at all times needs to run above 30 frames per second. Again, I can't clarify enough that frame rate is king in gaming, not resolution. It's just so important that they nail down the frame rate first and foremost. So The Division isn't going to only cater to Americans or anyone in the United Kingdom. They are going all out in this game. So if you live in Germany or any other countries, they say that they really want to make your version shine. They are focusing on localization. That is, they want user interfaces to really feel like the respected countries. They want you to have subtitles and languages to match that, as well as dialogue apparently to also match that. They did a whole article about this on their official blog. You can find out more below, but thankfully they are going all out with localization. They really want to fine-tune the game for each country. So what I really enjoyed about the article is they went into the fact that non-linear storytelling and NPCs are going to be a huge part of the game. I was thrilled to hear this once again being talked about in their blog. Destiny, and in my opinion, I'm just going to say, really blew it in this area. When you go to a world, it is barren. You just have a bunch of enemies standing there and you can't interact with any NPCs on the moon or Mars. Really? I just felt like that was the craziest thing to me, that there were no interesting characters to run into throughout the world. Well, it seems like that's not going to be the case for The Division. It sounds like you will be running into NPC characters during your adventures with friends. So I'm so thrilled to hear this. It makes me even more excited for the potential that is The Division. So exciting. So now onto your top comments. Remember guys to submit your comments and questions below. They could end up in the video. So this one's really good. It comes from Krazkura. And he says, do you think that in the game we will be able to trade supplies with other clans or factions? For example, trading a gun and some ammo for some food and water. Now that's really interesting. I found actually a quote from the official Xbox One page about The Division. They said that player-to-player trading will be in the game. I'm seeing that trading will be a huge part of the game. Now, food and water is going to be interesting. I don't think it's going to be hardcore like DayZ. They actually said no, they do not want the game like DayZ. It's sort of a turnoff to anyone that plays Call of Duty, Battlefield. They do want Battlefield and Call of Duty players playing their game. They also stated that. So I don't think food and water are going to be necessarily for your survival. They may actually be to build up the morale of your base of operations. That's my opinion. That is a personal opinion, but that's what I think they're going for with the game, where you are collecting supplies for the people that you have rescued. Another interesting one. RatKiller15 says, if you find a gun inside a dark zone and get out of that dark zone, do you get to keep that gun even if you die outside of the dark zone? So, for those of you that don't know, the dark zones are your PvP areas. You can step into them seamlessly and then engage in PvP and get rare loot and items from doing that. Now, once you're in the dark zone and you collect a weapon from that dark zone, if you make it out alive, from what I understand, you get to keep that weapon permanently. It is yours to keep once you are outside of the dark zone. So there are going to be instances where you get into the dark zone, you find your, rare MP5 or whatever, you pick it up, you get shot, then you lose that weapon in that moment. But if you do pick it up in the dark zone, you step out, you're going to be able to keep that weapon even if you die outside of the dark zone. That's what I get from what Ubisoft Massive has stated. So it seems like if you die outside of a dark zone, you do get to keep your dark zone weapons. Mikhail Delas says, do you think that there will be a building or crafting system so that you can build things in your base, e.g. containers, platforms, or places, benches to modify weapons? There has been actually very little information about this now. They have shown the base of operations. As you can see, there's a medical supply area that you could build up. There's an armory that you can actually install and build up as well. So I don't think you're going to be going out there and boarding up windows. I'm not too sure if that's going to be the case or not. It'll be awesome if that was true, of course. But I do think the crafting and the building is going to be more in the gadgets that you have in your arsenal. You're going to be crafting stuff. I would really compare it to Rage, to be honest with you, except a lot more extensive, a lot more fleshed out than Rage was. But think Rage when you think about the crafting system, at least a lot more fleshed out and more detailed. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for liking and sharing the video. And of course, I really enjoy scrolling down and seeing the conversations that go on about all things The Division and open world gaming. I really do enjoy seeing what you guys have to say. So please do not hesitate to leave a comment below. And then also, don't forget we're doing our PS4 and Xbox One giveaway. We are teaming up with Star Wars HQ. We are so freaking excited for Star Wars in 2015. Of course, The Division and Star Wars Battlefront will rule in 2015. You can look forward to us playing that right here on Open World Games and Star Wars HQ. But guys, again, thank you for all of your support. We are really growing here on Open World Games. Come join us if you haven't already. We are here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and twitch.tv/OpenWorldGamer. Thank you guys as always, and I will see you next time.